Numerous months ago, OPG reached out to my director of public relations, Ruben Herrera, and asked about us being a naming sponsor for the current arena. And so that has to have been 6 months, 8 months ago. Mr. Herrera has those letters and documents that identify those periods of time, but quite some time back. We made that offer some time back of $1,250,000 a year for 10 years. Of course, subject to the city being able to maintain that building, because I know there's some issues with that building. But we reiterated that particular offer last week. And I think what's happened within the city council and the various factions in the city is there's been a controversy over my name being on that structure. And so you've seen this pause and no activity for quite some time. So where they're at now and what discussions they're having, I think they've had some discussions. Where they're going to land, I don't know. But that's the information I have. Well, I think the thing that I've kind of heard is that I'm a personal injury attorney, and that being a personal injury attorney and having your name on the American Bank Center may not be something Corpus Christi would want. But in Corpus Christi, Texas, I am an attorney, but I'm also a philanthropist, having provided so much for people in our state. And I think the name can be synonymous with two different things, that is philanthropy and me being a personal injury attorney. The other thing I think is important about myself and my profession is, our profession is about keeping people safe. It's about protecting people. And so many people that resonates to. Now, sometimes if you're a business owner and you hear my name, they're going to hate my name. But, at the end of the day, my intentions are to help Corpus Christi and to do the best I can, because Corpus Christi has been a wonderful place. I've raised kids there, I have businesses there, I have properties there. And so if I can help, then I'm going to help. But at some point in time, it's going to be up to politicians to figure that out, and the problems that they deal with and having to figure out that issue. Well, if you look at values, core values, what I do professionally is protect people. I make businesses safer, the roadways safer. I try to make sure that, when people get up and go to work, they have a safe environment. And I think my profession represents keeping people safe. And without my profession, we would have a business world that would be extremely unsafe. And that's a big concern right now in Texas. There's tort reform going on in Texas to cap people's damages and to eliminate many of the laws that protect us now. And so, Republican values are safety. Republican values are to treat people with respect and make sure that they get a fair shake. And I think that, the naming rights of the American Bank Center, whether it's me or any other company, you think about that and what is that value system? And our value system is philanthropy, from feeding people to education, to medical care, to cancer research, to helping the homeless, helping the elderly. The core values that I have as a human being, I think, reflected through my profession and what I do personally to help people and humanity. So if that name on that American Bank Center, if that is not something that is good enough in terms of the core values, then, I want, the elected officials to figure out who can fall into those categories that I've just outlined. And so I want what's best for Corpus Christi. But I think when we talk about core values and the kind of businesses we are in, I think then you get off into a lot of politics. And at the end of the day, I simply help people, whether I represent them or I don't represent them. throughout Texas, throughout the United States, and sometimes in the world. My only concern with the city is if you look at the last 20 years of the American Bank Center having the naming rights, okay, that's a bank, right? They hold your money, they make money off your money. And you look at how the city crafted that deal, that was the worst deal on the planet. Go look at what they pay per year. I mean, I don't know how they got that deal. That was a sweetheart deal. And so as they run that particular venue, and they're at, I think, a slight deficit, our contribution single-handedly meets what they're doing every single year. So now take now bringing more events, trying to do a more aggressive job with the arena, you should be able to bring in more revenue. But what we've seen historically is a failure by the city to oversee and manage that building, number one, and two, how are they growing that event center? And so, in my mind, I want to attach my name to something that's going to grow, something that's going to be good. And so the last thing I want to do is put my name on a building that the city will let, go to waste, not be run properly. And so certainly, when you have these types of arrangements, they are always predicated on a building still being operational, still being one that is of a standard in the industry for arenas. And so I want to be involved with our city. I want to be able to help this arena. And I want more and more people to come to that arena so they see Corpus Christi, so that they can maybe get some of their grassroots into Corpus, to grow Corpus, to give people opportunities. And, that's how I came to Corpus as a young man. My father moved there, and it was called the Emerald City by the Bay. And we were so excited. We came from Kansas, and we thought Corpus Christi was amazing. And I still have that heart and that hope for Corpus, to grow Corpus. Those people have deafening silence. And, I'm sure they're trying to figure out where else they can find someone that will provide money for naming rights. And I'll tell you, I'm all for them finding someone who will do that for the city, because it's about helping people in Corpus Christi. So if they can get someone who'll come in that will say, hey, listen, keep your arena in shape, keep it up to the proper standards. As a corporation, we want to put our name on there, or as a person, I want to put our name on there, and I'm going to match Thomas J. Henry's offer, or I'll do better. I'm all for that, because it's all about Corpus Christi. I want to help Corpus Christi, whether it's in this fashion, or if this type of environment allows for more competition to bring in more money for the city of Corpus Christi, and my name's not on that building, I'll be happy for people in Corpus Christi. But it's got to be good for people.